This conference will now be recorded.
So basically, whenever we talk about programming, not only Python programming, whenever we talk about any programming for that matter, so we generally face errors. We generally face errors. Whenever I talk about error, so error can be anything that will stop us from going forward in the program, generally. So the error can be categorized into syntax errors, runtime errors, and logical errors. Okay, so syntax errors. So first of all, we need to understand what exactly syntax means. Syntax is nothing but the rules. Syntax are nothing but the rules and the regulations of the program. Whenever we talk about programming, rules comes first. Rule. Now you have to write the program like this only. If you don't write like this, compiler or interpreter. So there are two things here we will learn today: compiler, interpreter. So these are the two things that will stop generally in programming. In normal programming, I'm saying. Okay, so Python only works with interpreter. That is different case. So whenever you write any program, you need to write according to the program syntax. If you are not writing according to the program syntax or the rules and regulations, then you will face the syntax error. Okay, first of all, syntax error means error is a mistake. Error is a mistake. Error is a mistake in the program that will be taken place. It can be wantedly, unwantedly. So కావాలని చేయొచ్చు అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐఎమ్ a trainer. So as a trainer, what I will be doing is I will be making it wanted so that you people can understand. So sometimes it may happen unwantedly also, right? So that is basically error. Syntax error, first time. Second one is runtime error. Third one is compile time error. When you talk about syntax error means the errors that will come when you don't follow the rules of the program. Now, for example, I will say generally I should say a is equal to 2, but somehow I said a2 equal to, okay, somehow, right? So this is absolutely correct. It did not stop my program, but this one gave me syntax error because you are not following the rules. So generally you should give a value. You should give a value. If you are not giving the value, it is giving you syntax error. Means you are not following the rules. It is as simple as that. Okay. Right. Point number two. Now, for example, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 1. Right. Now I'll simply say a by b. Okay. A by b. General operation. I'm saying A by B. So what I got? I got some 2.0, some answer. 1 2s are 2 and all. Okay, that I got. Now I'll say C is equal to 0. What I'll say? C is equal to 0. Now simply I'll say A by C. A by C. Now what I got? Okay, sorry. So I'll say A by C. What I got? Zero division error. The errors which are not understandable for the system, in simple sense, the system will not know what to do with that particular logic. Now a by c, a number getting divided by 0. Generally in mathematics we say infinity and all, but here we cannot say that. So the program, in the background of the program, that is not solved, so what that will do, that will give you the runtime error. That will give you which error? Runtime error. So what a runtime error is? Runtime error means the error that comes in the at the time of program execution. So at the time of program execution, you will get that error. You will get that error. And that error you will get only when the system is not understanding what to do. You understood what to do. You said it A by B or A by C. You said no problem. So from your side it is okay, but the system is not understanding. Simple logic. Now we are going daily or going in one route, right? So suddenly GHMC people wanted to do some road repair work. So that is a runtime error. Yes, you are going in a wrong route. That is syntax error. Simple. It is as simple as that. Okay, so you are going daily by that route only. But on Monday, GHMC people uh, put some work over there. Means it is a runtime error. Now there is no route. If you want to go into that route, that is a syntax error. Is this clear? Yes. Okay. So now what happens when runtime error occurs? Syntax error occurs means there will be no output at all. There will be no output at all. Now, for example, I'll tell you. Okay. Simple example I'll tell you. So I'll write A is equal to 2. Okay. I'll write B is equal to 3. Right. I'll say A plus B. Okay. I'll say A minus B. Okay. So now here I did some mistake. Okay. So I did some mistake. I said A equal to and I left it. Syntax error. Okay. Now first line is okay. Second line is okay. Third line also okay. Fourth line also okay. But the error is in the fifth line. The error is in the fifth line. Is my point clear? Error is in the fifth line. But do you see anything executing? First line did not execute. Second line did not execute. Third line did not execute. Fourth line did not execute. Fifth line, error is there, anyhow it won't execute. So what happens when syntax error is there, no line will get executed. No line will get executed when the syntax error is there. If the syntax error is there, no line will get executed. Is that point clear? Okay. Now, when there is a runtime error, let's say A by B. Okay. So A by B is there, and here I'll again say A minus C. Now I will say B is equal to 0. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 0, A plus B, A divided by B, and A minus C. Now this is correct, this is correct, this is correct, this is correct, and this is correct. But what happened? So A plus B, okay, 1 second. So A plus B, okay, 2, where is 2 printing? Okay, so A is equal to 2 executed, B is equal to 0 executed. Okay, I'll say print. So print will give you the output, display the output. Okay, and here I'll say print, and here also I'll say print. Okay, so now I will execute. Now here this line got executed, this line got executed, and this line also got executed. You can see here. But what happened? This line onwards, there is no execution. Why? It is a runtime error. I told you, no, you are going in a route daily, but on one day the route is being repaired by GHMs. You are going in a good line. You are going in a good line, but somewhere in the middle there is a problem. You will go until then, no? Until then you go. Until then you go. Until there you go, rather. Until there you go. At that place, from that place you cannot go forward. So this is the same thing. From this place you are not able to go forward. Am I clear? So that is what is happening. So in this code there is nothing wrong. that a minus c is nothing wrong. Yes or no? Yes, a minus c is nothing wrong. A plus b is nothing wrong. Code wise, a plus b also not wrong. But 2 by 0, any number dividing by 0 is not understood by the system. It is as simple as that. Is the point clear? So that is what is runtime error. So runtime error, we also call it as exception. We also call it as what? Exception. So runtime error or exception. So we can call a runtime error also, runtime error as exception also. So what exception will do, sir? Exception will stop. Exception will stop the program execution. Exception will stop the program execution. Yes. Okay, sir, how to get away from this and all we will understand later. So that concept is called exception handling. It's a big concept again that will come in advanced Python. We will be understanding there. Is that clear? Okay, next is logical error. Logical error means the errors which are the responsibility of the programmer only. Now, programmer is whole responsible for the logical error. Now, for example, I'll say double the value of a. Okay, so a is equal to 5. Double the value of a. Now, what you'll do? Print a into 2. Simple mathematics. So, you'll say a into 2. Right? A is equal to 5. You will simply say a into 2. So, you are doubling the value. I'm not saying no. But what was my question? Double the value of a. Double the value of a. So now I'll say print of a. So I'm saying print of a. So what is a value? A value was 5. A value is still 5. You just executed or printed the value, printed the double value, that's it. So means you did not work it on the data. You did not work it on the data. So you did not work it out on the data. Data working is important. So that is logical error. Logical error means you will think that that is correct route only. But after going there, you will see that this is not the right place. Yes, this is not the right place. So this is not the right output. Getting my point or not? So syntax error means selecting the wrong route. Yes. Runtime error means there is some stoppage in the middle. This means everything you are thinking correct only, correct only, correct only. But at the end of the day, so instead of going to branch 1, you went to branch 2. Getting my point? So you went in the correct way only as per the map and everything. But you did the program in such a way that you wrote an error. You wrote an error. That is logical error. You will get the output. In the first syntax error, you won't get the output. In the second one also, you will get the output, but not all the outputs. Third one, you will get the output, everything will run, but you are getting the wrong output. That is logical error. You understanding my point? So what are the things that we understood today? We understood about the three types of errors. So what are the three types of errors? What is an error first of all? What is error? Error means so today we will talk about the Python components, but as I'm clearing your doubts, okay. So what I'm talking about now, I'm talking about errors. So errors means the mistakes that takes place in the program wantedly or unwantedly. So we cannot guarantee, array, this is the mistake that I am doing. So you cannot say that this mistake has come. This mistake has come. You cannot say. You just type and go. But suddenly your interpreter will say that it is not the correct one, like that. Am I clear? Okay. So you have syntax errors. So what is syntax error? If you are if you are wrong in your if you are wrong in your rule, if you are wrong in your rule means you are not following the rules of the program. So the rules of the program are given by PEP. Python programming rules are given by PEP. So Python enhancement protocol, the thing is, we will talk more about that later. So PEP will give you all the rules and regulations. So according to the PEP, we should, yes, according to the PEP, we should. If you are not going according to the PEP, you will get the syntax errors. Is that clear? So syntax errors mean the errors which come when you are not following the rules and regulations of programming. Point number one. Point number two, you have the runtime errors. Which errors? Runtime errors or exceptions. Runtime errors are exceptions. So you have the runtime errors, or they are also called as the exceptions. So when you will get them? You will get them when you are not writing the code that is understood by the system. You are writing a code, perfect, but that is not understood by the system. At that time, it will give you exception or runtime error. Yes. Point number three, logical errors. What is this? Logical errors. So whenever you are talking about logical errors, the errors that will give you output, that will definitely give you output, but that outputs are not right. Yes, that outputs are not right. As a fresher, always remember you'll do 95% to 97% syntax errors as a fresh learner. But when you start your work in the company and everything, you will do 99% logical errors. Because up to then you will know what are syntax errors, what are the rules, how what a program will understand, what a system will understand, all that you will know. But logical errors are the ones which 15 years experience person also will do, 30 years experience of person also will do that, because they are going in one way, so there may be some logical mistakes or something, no? So that is why logical errors are more common. Is that clear? Okay. So today, as I've told you, we will be talking about the Python components. Okay, always remember, a program's components are divided into two basically. Okay, the Python program components, the Python programs components are divided into, okay, the Python program components are divided into two major categories. Two major categories. Okay, so the Python program components are divided into two major categories. Okay, right. One, non-executable components. Non-executable components, and second one is executable components. Executable components, non-executable components and executable components. Okay, I'll give you a simple example of this. Now every one of us write exams. Now let's go back to our exam days and look at the question paper. So when you look at the question paper, so generally what you have something like section A. Okay, question number one, question number two, question number three, question number four, and all right. Okay, and you have section B, and you have one, two, three, four, and all. Okay, now, so first question. So now you directly know the third answer. So now what you will do in the answer book? You will write section A, and you will write 3, and you will start writing the answer. Yes, sir. Generally, this is what we do. Now, the executable and non-executable. Why I'm telling you all this, because now will you get marks for writing that section A, number 3, and all? They are, you will get marks for this content only, no? You'll get marks for this content only, or will you get marks for this? But that is required information, of course. I'm not saying that they are not required information. They are required information which are saying that this is the answer. Those who correct your paper, they should know. Yes, this is the answer. Yes, section A, third answer he wrote. So that is information. So the non-executable components are the ones which will give you the information. They are not responsible for giving you the output. They are not responsible for giving you the output. So directly or indirectly, they are not responsible for giving the output. They are just for information. Am I clear? They are just for information. So non-executable components of the program are nothing but the components that will give the information to the program. So what kind of program it is, what is the logic behind this program, heading of the program. Okay, so what is the program name? So all these kind of things it will tell you. And those are called as comments. Those are called as comments. Yes. So non-executable components and executable components. So whenever I'm talking about non-executable components, the components that are not contributing to the output. Okay, right. So we will try and write it. Okay, first is, okay, so first point is going to be non-executable components. The components which are, okay, so the components which are helpful in providing the information about the providing the information about the program, about the program, about the program. The components which are helpful in providing the information about the program. So which are helpful in and providing what? Information about the program. Information about the program. And are not responsible, or I should say, and are not the contributors for the, and are not the contributors for the what? For the output, and are not the contributors for the output. So directly or indirectly, they are not responsible. Okay. Okay. Right. In Python, the comments are said to be the non-executable components. Non-executable components. Okay. So in Python, the comments are said to be which components? Non-executable components. Okay. In Python, the comments are said to be the non-executable components, right? So non-executable components means the components which are helpful for giving some information. Yes, right? So they do not contribute towards the output. So for output, the contribution is nil. For output, their contribution is nil. Okay. In Python, comments are used for the non-executable comments. Okay. Now we will understand the syntax. Syntax means the rules. What is the rule? What is the rule for going for the comments? So going for the comments. So put a hash followed by the comment. followed by the comment. So a syntax, what is syntax? Hash followed by the comment. Hash followed by the comment. Okay. Hash followed by what? Hash followed by the comment. Understood? Okay. Example. Example. Program for adding two numbers. Adding two numbers. Program for adding two numbers. Hash. So it has to be started with hash. So it has to be started with hash. Okay. Now adding two numbers. So tomorrow I'll tell you how to install the softwares and all. Okay. So we will do it in Visual Studio. So from tomorrow we will do Python programs in Visual Studio. I'll tell you how to install, how to work with it. Okay. So if you have laptop, you can get it. Okay, so A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3, and then I will say print of A plus B. Now I will run this code. I got 8. Fine. Right. So now what I'll do is generally I will say 8, and here I will say program for addition. Okay, and here I will say 5 will assign to A. Okay, 5 will assign to A, and here I'll write B will assign to B, right? So 5 will assign to A, 3 will assign to B, print of A plus B, hash 8, and hash program for addition. So what are all this? All these are comments. And one more thing, comments are not compulsory. They are optional. If you want information, you can provide. If you don't want any information, you can just leave it. Okay. Now I will run this again. Holding all this, I will run it again. Now, is there any difference in the answer? Why? Because comments are non-executable. Comments do not give their contribution into the program. So these are non-executable. I mean, sorry, these are executable. A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3, printer. So these are executable and these are non-executable. Getting my point? Is that clear? So, okay. Now I'll write. Now, for example, I'll write this. So A is equal to 5. Program without comments. Program without comments. Right? Program without comments. So what is output? Output is 8. Right? Output 8 only. Yes. Okay. Now this is program with comments. Okay, I'll write here. So this here also I'll write printing sum of A comma B. Printing sum of A comma B. Okay. Now this is program with the comments. So this is program with the comments. Program with the comments. Right? Program with the comments and program without comments. Okay. What is the output? Here also 8 only. Right? So there is no way that I'll get different outputs. Outputs are same. Clear? So what exactly I'm doing, sir, here? I am going for no comments, and here I gave every line comment. So comments can be given in any line. So generally for explaining the program, generally for giving some kind of extra information. Suppose I want to give some program. I want to give you some program. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just type and give you. I may not be available, so that I have to make you understand I'm not available. What I'll do, I'll make use of the comments so that I can give you that and you can understand by it. So that's what the point. Yes? Okay. Right. So in Python, okay, so we'll write some one more point. In Python, in Python, we can also use string components. So you'll understand what is string and all later. Okay, for now you can understand it like string. That's it. You can also use string components as comments, which are not officially comments, not officially comment components. They are not officially comments, but they are also used. They are also used in it. Components as comments, so which are not referred as officially referred as comments. So which are not officially referred as comments. In Python, we can also use string components as comments, which are not officially referred as comments. Okay, so they are not official, but still we can use. Okay, example. Okay, comments in multiple lines. Generally, multiple lines. If you want, you can use it like this. Multiple lines. Okay, multiple lines of a Python program program. Okay, like this. Okay, so like this also you can use. Sir, when to use, where to use, I'll tell you later. So for now, just try and understand that we can use that section. Yes. So in Python, we can also use string components. So these are official, hash official. So these are non-official, but we can use. Okay. So they are not officially referred as comments, but we can use them. So where to use, we will learn later. Got it? Okay. Now we have completed the discussion on non-executable comments. So what is the specialty of non-executable comments? Components rather. They are useful for giving some information. Point number one. So they are not responsible for giving you the output. Point number two. Now there should be something which are executable. Now here in this program, this a is equal to 5, b is equal to 3, print a plus b. These are not having any hash symbol or anything, no? So they are executable. They are executable. Anything other than comments in a program, if there are comments, they are non-executable. If there are anything other than comments, they are executable only. So from now to the end of the course, you'll see all executable comments. If they are not comments, they are executable. If they are comments, they have become non-executable. If they are not comments, they are executable. Yes, is that clear? Okay. Next, we will be understanding about executable components. Executable components. Okay. The components other than comments are said to be, okay, the components other than comments are said to be, okay, the components other than comments are said to be executable, are said to be executable. The components other than comments are said to be executable. Okay, are said to be executable. Okay, are said to be executable and contributes contributes. Okay, the components other than comments are said to be executable and contribute towards the output. Contribute towards the output directly or indirectly. Directly or indirectly. So directly or indirectly, they may affect the output directly or indirectly, and contribute towards the output directly or indirectly. So it can have a direct effect, it can have an indirect effect, but effect should be there. Effect will be there. Yes. Okay. So we can have the understanding of some of them. Okay. Right. So first thing always keywords. Okay. What is the first thing that we'll understand? Keywords. So what are keywords? See, in English, like for example, the is, if I have to form a line, if I have to write a line, okay, now I'm using the, okay, I'm using said, are, be. So what are all these? All these are the keywords of English. Keywords of English, right? So in the same way, in for programming also there will be keywords. For programming also there will be keywords. Understanding my point? So whenever we want the words which are already available in the program environment, the words which are already available in the program environment and will be binded by some functionality. There will be some functionality to them. Okay. So now, for example, and is there. And is used for what in English? To connect two things, today and tomorrow. Okay. Or is there, today or tomorrow, right? The is there. So the components like that. Every word has a specific functionality. Getting my point? So now in Python also there are keywords. So every keyword has some functionality. In Python also you have something like and, or, not, right? Python also are there. If is there, else is there. So like this, many keywords are. Around 80 keywords are available in Python. We cannot have all the list now. Slowly, when we learn, we will understand. So keywords. Keywords are the most important components of Python programming. Getting my point? So what is the first executable component that we are going to learn? Keywords. Right? So keywords. The words that are already available in the program environment. Already available in the program environment. Okay. The words that are already available in the program environment and are bound by some functionality. Bound by some functionality. So the words that are already available in the program environment that are bound by some functionality. Okay. Right. Whenever whenever they are used, whenever they are used, the functionality, whenever they are used, the functionality is exposed. Whenever they are used, the functionality is exposed. The functionality is exposed. Is my point clear? So whenever they are used, the functionality is exposed. The functionality is given out. Yes. Okay. For example, okay, so for example you have something like if else for okay, so many things like this. So you have something like class, okay, so you have something like def, so all these things you will be using. So whichever keyword you are using, that functionality is exposed in the program. Okay, everyone has some reason to be used. If has some reason, else has some reason, for has some reason, class has some reason, df have some reason. Every word requires has some functionality. Every word has some functionality. So when that functionality will be exposed, when it is used, when it is used. So for now we are not using anything, slowly we will be using. Yes. Okay. Next, very important component and very much ignored. So I've seen many people ignore this next component, right? Why they'll ignore, I'll tell you. White space. Okay, what they ignore? White space. Sir, why you are very keen about this white space in Python? In Python, it is very important. Okay, in Python, it is very important. So why is that in Python very important? Because Python is indentation based programming language. Sir, what is indentation and all? We will understand later. Okay. So for now, indentation means spacing. For now, you understand indentation means spaces. So spacing is important. So that spacing we call it as white space. So you are giving one space, two space, any space you can give. Everything is called white space. Everything is known as white space. Yes. Okay. It is nothing but it is nothing but a space generated by it is nothing but a space generated by using the space bar, comma, tab key, okay, tab key, enter key, okay, enter key, etc. Okay, so it is nothing but a space generated by using the space bar, tab key, enter key. So anything. See, enter key means next line. That next line is also space only. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. So for now, we will understand in smaller things. Okay. In Python, in Python, indentation. In Python, indentation plays a vital role. Indentation plays a vital role. So in Python, indentation plays a vital role. Vital role in the sense very important role. Plays a vital role as Python program is not a blocked block level, I should say, not a block level programming language, not a block level programming language. So in Python, indentation plays a vital role as the Python program is not a block level programming language. Indentation is nothing but spacing. Indentation is nothing but spacing. Nothing but space. I'll just tell you a simple example. Okay, simple example so that you can understand what is indentation. Okay, okay. Now, for example, I'm writing a is equal to 2. Now here space is not important. Okay, here space is not important. Here if you give also no problem, if you don't give also no problem. But this is a white space, obviously. Okay. Now I will say B is equal to 3. That is also fine. Okay. Now I will say C is equal to 4. Now let me run this. Now what I got? Indentation error means you are using unnecessary space. Here it is not important to use indentation. Where you have to use indentation, now for example I have something like if okay, so if a is equal to 5, okay, just right here you have to use the indentation. Suppose here you will write some print a is, don't try to understand the logic here, just try to understand the indentation. Okay, so a is 5 and understand the indentation. That's it. Now again same error is coming here. Why? Here space is important. Here space is not important. You understanding the point? Here space is not important. Here space is important. Getting my point or not? So this is runtime error. This is what? Runtime error. Okay. So both are indentation errors only. But here it is saying you are using unnecessarily. And it is saying you need space, but you are not using. That is why I told you indentation is very, very, very important. So we'll learn deeply later. So for now, try and understand the importance of the white space. Importance of the white space. Yes, often people ignore this. White space should not be ignored because it is important. So it is like make or break for the program. Understanding? So white space is nothing but what? The space generated by using a space bar or tab key or enter key, etc. Right? So now for example here I just said enter. A is equal to I'll say enter. That is also white space. Yes. So this is also white space only. This is also white, but it is not compulsory to leave that space. It is up to you. But here, if you are leaving the space, it will definitely tell you it is error. And here, if you are not leaving the space, it will tell you because print is a part of the if. That is a meaning actually. Understanding my point? So in this way, you are talking about the white space, right? So keywords, white spaces. Okay. So last 5 minutes we can revise all the things that we have done. So what we started with today, we started with the errors. So generally we had some doubt questions. So we started with errors. Errors are of three types: syntax errors, runtime errors, and logic errors. Syntax error means if you don't follow the rules. Runtime errors or exception means you follow the rules and everything, but the system will not understand what to do. Next, logical error. Logical errors means you are writing the code perfect, no syntax errors, no runtime errors, but you are not getting the output which you want. That is logical error. So 99% of the time when you go into the company for work, you will get logical errors because by that time you will know what is syntax error, what is runtime error. Now you see indentation error has come. Okay, so now you will know, array, if I use this, indentation error will come. So I'll not use it. So then there's no chance of that error. Is that clear? Okay. Then we understood the types of component. There are only two types of component majorly: non-executable, executable. Non-executable means the comments which can be the components or the comments which are not which are not executable, which do not contribute towards the program output. So they will not have any effect on the program output. If they are there also, same output will come. If they are not there also, same output will come. So that is why we call them as comments. We call them as comments. So comments are nothing but the parts of the program which do not have any output consideration. So they are only for the sake of information. Sake of information. Getting my point? Okay. So comments. Definitely comments are said to be the non-executable comments. Non-executable comments. Okay. Then anything other than comments are executable. So first we understood keywords. Keywords are what? Keywords are the words which are already there in the environment, which are used for exposing some functionality. Exposing some functionality. So that functionality is exposed when that particular word is used. Yes, when the particular word is used. Yes. Okay. Then we have white space. In white space, we have the space bar, we have the tab, enter. All of them are said to be white space only. So and Python is so particular about the white space, that is indentation. So if you are not using it correctly, you will get the indentation error, right? So these are the things. So we have some more components to deal with, so which we will be dealing in tomorrow's session. Okay. Right. So thank you. Yeah. Anyone online? Any doubts? Any questions? If you have, you can ask me. Yeah. Thank you.